Welcome back to The Debaters Season 2, a debate game show for high school students here in Vietnam. Produced and broadcasted by VTV, National Educational Channel of Vietnam, and British University, Vietnam. I'm your host, Dustin Chevier. Today's topic is quite interesting. It's very popular in South Korea. It's called Hongjok culture. Hon means alone, and jok means tribe. And a little bit more about this culture is they avoid friendships. Sometimes they will have friends, or they want to live alone. They don't focus on relationships, they focus on their career. And some of you may find this a little bit unusual, as it's a subculture in South Korea, and it is growing internationally. And today, we will be discussing this in more details. So for today, the motion that we welcome the Hongjok culture. As you can see behind me, we have a team to my right and a team to my left who are extremely eager and excited to debate this. Without further ado, please let me welcome the contestants for that.
Hello, we are Choco Chips.
It's a very challenging motion because we all prepared for it for 2 days. But I think the impact and the significance of this motion that we are debating about is not really completed. I have researched a lot to understand more about this culture to apply it in my cases.
For Choco Chips, I think the language facility is there because one member could have or has a British accent and the rest of the members as well, they could speak and engage a lot. The thing is, I really want them to be firm when they give stance in a debate because one, sometimes they're holding themselves back. They don't want to push forward, but in debate, they need to understand that they have to be hardline in terms of policy and standards. And I think that as time goes by, like they could develop those skills in debating, and I could see a very good promise on them.
I am the M,
I'm the G,
and I'm the T.
We are MGT.
So I think our motion is kind of unusual, but it will provide us with new knowledge.
Because all the article on the internet support for the Hongjok culture, so it is very hard for us to find out some useful information.
MGT team didn't have much experience at first. This is also their first tournament as well. But the girls are very bright and smart. They ask interesting questions when we do preparation. Because the motion for them was pretty new, so we spent more time do reading and researching on the Korean culture and how does it really look like in real world. And then because MGT was not yet confident with their English speaking skills, so we did a lot of practice and rehearsals for their speeches. And I wish them the best.
All right, teams, I'm going to start over here with the proposition team. Choco Chips. Why not chocolate chips?
It just like in a moment when she said that I want scholarships, and then I reply, I just want Choco Chips. We all hungry at the time, so Choco Chips.
So back to today's motion, Hongjok culture. Do you guys consider yourself part of this culture? Are you a loner or more individualistic or community-based?
We believe that we are all in this Hongjok culture. Like, we enjoy doing things alone.
Okay, so Choco Chips, thank you. Hi.
Hi.
So we have MGT.
Yes.
What does this mean or stand for?
Well, it is just the first letter of our name. It's kind of boring, but
It's creative.
but that's the first thing like popping in our mind when we like fill the form.
No, actually, I'll give that to you because sometimes we have abbreviations of schools or abbreviations of this, but the teams and your guys' names. I like that. So, Hongjok culture. Are you guys part of this culture or what? I want to hear a little bit before we start the debate.
We're not actually Hongjokers,
Okay.
and we're the opposition team.
So nobody is a Hongjok culture. It's a terrible thing, right?
Yeah.
We're against it.
Yeah, we're against it.
Okay, so thank you so much, MGT. Last but not least, we have our wonderful judges that I'm more than happy to introduce. So, without further ado, let me please welcome the first contestants. So, to my right, the proposition team, Team Choco Chips. Please welcome Đỗ Phan Quyên Chi. To my left, the opposition team, Team MGT. Please welcome Trần Hương Giang. Okay, this is the first round of the debaters. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling a bit nervous.
Nervous?
Yeah, but I'm fine.
Have you debated before?
Several times.
Several times. Are you being modest right now? Has it been like several hundred times or just literally several times?
No, like several times. Twice.
Okay, I'll take that. So some debate experience. And how are you feeling over here?
Yeah, quite nervous though.
Just nervous?
Yes.
Okay, do we need to do breathing exercises right now to help you with this before we start?
Not that.
Okay, I don't understand why, but for you guys, the first round is a little bit different compared to the other ones. You have 3 minutes to deliver your speech. POI is not open. And proposition team, you will be going first. Do you understand the rules?
Yes.
All right. And I know you're both nervous, okay? However, let the debate begin.
So before starting, I want to clarify that there is a debate of qualifying standards to why welcoming Hangzhou culture is justifiable to begin with. So in today's world, there exists a group of people who choose to follow an independent life. They live alone, they work alone, who choose to believe that having well-chosen friends is better than socializing with shallow connections. And these people form a culture that called the Hangzhou culture. And we are talking about a culture that allows people to be productive as long as it doesn't harm society. Then the culture is equally acceptable. And therefore, we welcome the Hangzhou culture. And we believe that the team who win this debate today is the team who proves that by welcoming the culture, the landscape of the society is going to be significantly better. Now move on to some of the clarifications in the motion. By the idea of welcome, we mean the following. A, we don't push everyone to follow this Hangzhou culture. B, little by little, we change the social stigma surrounding people who choose to be alone. And C, we don't over-glamorize this culture. We just accept that with their way of living. So the affirmative team comes to the debate with 2 main arguments to reach our goals. First, the principal argument. We believe that it is right and crucial to welcome the Hangzhou culture. And the pragmatic argument, welcoming Hangzhou culture leads to a more empowered society where individuals are given equal opportunity to be more productive, whatever lifestyle choice they want. Now come to our first argument. According to data in Korean, about 56% of people over 15 years of age prefer to enjoy their leisure time alone. People choose to be alone because of a variety of reasons. The social pressures to conform a group of household living, the introverts who cope with the anxiety of taking part in groups, and they find it more pleasurable to do activity alone instead of forcing them into groups. From these characterizations, we believe that it is right and crucial to welcome the Hangzhou culture for 2 reasons. First, it is their right to do whatever they want, and as long as they doesn't harm the other. Second, additionally, one for all for one. The government should respect each person's ways of living as long as they are unharmful to the third party. And additionally, there are a lot of other cultures, the hip-hop cultures, the YOLO cultures, and the Hangzhou. We believe that it is just one of them. All the cultures are just a lifestyle, and so it is legitimate for the society to welcome. Lastly, we believe that as long as the culture in the affirmative side does not infringe the rights of the others, then there is no reason for the opposition side to not welcome it. Very proud to propose.
The proposition side is creating a world where people always run away from their problems. We believe that people should face the problem in order to achieve ultimate happiness, and Hangzhou is not an option. So first, I want to have some rebuttal. You say that it is crucial to welcome Hangzhou culture in your first argument, but the thing is that why do we have to welcome it? You didn't prove that really that clear, and the argument, the claim is not that strong. I think that this is kind of vague for us because the crucial is crucial in very many different ways, and you have to give more detailed reason. Okay, so move on to our characterization. It is true that hard drugs provide people with a chance to escape from stress. However, hard drugs are just like the runners who are running away from the reality and challenges. And number of hard drugs is growing rapidly. That's why the trend is influential. Our goal today is to achieve people's true happiness and a sustainable development of the whole society. So we have two arguments to support our point, our stance. The first argument is hard drugs will lead to loneliness, which is very harmful. And the second one is hard drugs have negative impacts on the society. So in the first argument, encourage hard drugs to detach from human relationship in order to avoid discomfort of potential problems, even the minor ones. Therefore, it makes people stuck in the self-denial trap. That is to say, on the one hand, we are encouraged to detach from others, but on the other hand, deep down inside, we all want to connect to people out there, because as Aristotle has once said, humans are social animals, and we want to have the connection to the outside world and to our friends, our families, and therefore hard drugs it causes to loneliness. And according to the UN, loneliness is more harmful than smoking 15 cigarettes a day, and that is the why hard drug is very harmful, create a very harmful impacts on hard drugs. The second argument will be further extended by our second speaker.
All right, Ji, Zhang, the first round is over. Are you feeling better?
More nervous.
Okay, are you more nervous now, or are you feeling a little bit relieved?
I don't know, it's a mix.
A mix?
Yeah.
Both of you, from listening to you, both are extremely fluent in English, and your clarity is awesome. So for us to listen, it's easy on the ears. So that's really helpful for the judges, because they're going to be even more strong and opinionated, giving you advice. So judges, look at this. They all look up at the same time. When that happens, they have a lot to say. All right, Uing, take it away.
Well, I think in the first turn, both teams tried their best to, analyze, provide a case setup and everything. I would say that the prop side did impress me. You have very nice structure. It was very easy for me to follow. You say that let's welcome it because it doesn't harm anyone. This is the right of everybody. So I think it's a very big burden for the opposition side to refute this particular idea. And I think your rebuttal was a little bit weak, as in you only criticized the fact that there was like a reasoning in their particular speech. I would say that even if your opponent lacks of reasoning, you should still, add up layers of rebuttals, because this is one of the biggest argument, I think. For the opposition side, I can see that there are some, some characterization about how Honjo culture is actually people running away from their, from their problems. I think this is a very big jump of idea that it definitely needs a lot of analysis step by step to lead the followers, to lead the audience into that one. So I think that the second speakers should try to, filling that gap. But for now, my 10 points would go to the proposition side.
Okay. Stuart?
I liked the clarifications that the proposition team put forward. I think it's important at this point to clarify exactly what your stance is. For me, the two kind of main ideas of, yes, it's, their right to do so, which I think, again, is quite difficult to argue against. The other idea is one for all for one. They're not that different at this point. I think they need differentiating a little bit more and progressing. But overall, it was a really good effort, and I'm excited to see what the rest of your team bring in the following rounds. For the opposition team, again, it's good to see an attempt at the rebuttal. For me as well, the rebuttal, it took a little bit of time to actually get to the point of your rebuttal, which is questioning the definition of crucial, or at least why is their use of crucial, what does it mean? For me, looking at both of the teams, my 10 points currently are with the proposition team for that round.
Okay. Hugh, girls, get ready. Okay, get ready for this one.
Like this season is going to be just between you and me constantly attacking each
know.
other, right? Okay, the proposition team. With the principal argument, I kind of agree that the right to do something and choose something is a very hard to overthrow argument. However, it is resting on a claim that it does cause no harm to the others, right? Because this debate exists for a particular reason. There must be something negative about it, so that I think your team should come in with a better positioning when you say there are negative impacts, but we acknowledge that the negative impacts are either negligible or they're not as strong as the positive impacts. Otherwise, it's going to be quite a loophole that the other team can attack you. Now, with the opposition team, I do agree with the judges that the rebuttal attempt is not successful. It's a very weak and shaky. Basically, there's no rebuttal for me in your case. Your structure may be not as well as the others, but I think you make it clear for me that I'm going to talk about two ideas. Number one is true happiness, and number two is sustainable development. I really think that these two are very strong arguments. Do not just throw out there and then drop it towards the end of your third debater. So the second debater and the third debater need to tie up to that what true happiness and sustainable development is, because I think those two are very strong arguments. And the fact that you talk about the self-denial traps as well as the UN research about loneliness impact compared to smoking and others, I think you're trying to attempt to address as the true happiness argument. Despite the loose structure a little bit, I buy in that argument. That's why my 10-point go to the opposition team.
All right. I got to ask you again, how are you feeling after the lecture the judges just gave us?
I feel like I have to improve more in the rebuttal parts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it helpful?
Yes, it's very helpful.
Was it a little too much, though? Because sometimes the judges, they talk a lot.
Yeah.
And it's hard to catch everything they're saying, but are you able to capture 100% of what they said?
I hope so.
Okay, me too. I really hope so, because you guys are currently down by 10 points, which at this point in the game, it's not that significant. So don't be too stressed, and for you guys, don't feel too confident. So both of you, thank you so much. Please return to your seats. So currently, we just finished the first round. Choco Chips has 20 points, the proposition team. To my left, the opposition team, MGT, has 10 points. At this point, it's anybody's game because it is the first round and it's significant, but a 10-point difference is not that great. However, with the second round coming up, we will know more. However, we need to take a short break and I'll see you right after it.
As long as the culture in the affirmative side does not infringe the rights of the others, then there is no reason for the opposition side to not welcome it.
According to the UN, loneliness is more harmful than smoking 15 cigarettes a day, and that is why Hangzhou create a very harmful impact on Hangzhoukers.
I think this is a very big jump of idea that it definitely needs a lot of analysis step by step to lead the followers, to lead the audience into that one.
Welcome back to the second round of the debaters. Currently our motion that we welcome Hangzhou culture. So in this round, please let me welcome the contestants. From Choco Chips, the proposition team, please welcome Wang Yu Chang. From the opposition team, Team MGT, please welcome Nguyen Vũ Ha Mi. Okay. Chang.
Yes.
Me. How you feeling?
I'm good.
You're good?
Actually, yeah, I'm quite happy
Good.
to be here.
Are you nervous?
A little bit, to
A
be
little bit.
honest. Yes.
Okay, I like that. I'm liking the confidence right now because this is.
I'm not kind of confident. I'm just happy.
Okay.
For the
But-
true happiness.
But the happiness comes out as confidence as well. So we got to settle that down a little bit. But, Mi Oi,
Wow.
she's extremely happy right now.
Yeah. See, happy and I'm confident.
She's extremely confident. This is slightly off topic though, but you both come from, you say gifted schools, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Do you guys go to the same school?
No?
No.
I'm not too familiar with the gifted schools in Vietnam, but which one is better?
Oh, it's hard to answer. Oh, it's subjective. It's subjective.
So you guys don't have a
I
way
love
of...
my school.
Not your school.
I love my school.
You love your
So
school.
I'm gonna say that it's better.
Okay.
But like, I don't know what's the other judges.
My school is the best in my heart.
Ooh, I see. I'm trying to create more competition right now. Super confident, super confident. I am really looking forward to this round. Because the last round, the students, you guys have phenomenal English, and hearing you right now, also phenomenal English. And it adds so much more to the debate. So for the second round, it's a little bit different compared to the first round. You have 4 minutes to deliver your speech, and POI is entirely open. Proposition team, you are going to go first. Opposition team, you will go second. Do you understand the rules?
Yes.
Awesome. I'm very excited to see this round. So let the debate begin.
Let me start with some rebuttal first. Being alone is not necessarily mean loneliness. I want to emphasize that this is their choice to embrace the Hunjuk culture, and this is their demand to be alone. And it cannot be loneliness. The loneliness only happens when you cannot connect with the other, but it is the case that they do not want to do that. So, actually, the loneliness is not existing here, even if there might be a loneliness after, but whether you like it or not, those people with those demands to be alone still exist. So in our side of the house, at least we let them to choose what is right for them and what they believe to be the right thing. So in this side of the house, we respect what they want, and in your side, actually you do nothing. So what will you do to really face with this motion? I cannot see that. So let's come to our argument. We believe that welcoming the Hunjuk culture, we can create an egalitarian society where individuals have equal opportunity to develop themselves and contribute to the society in the way they want, as long as it does not harm others. So first, let's come to our first stakeholder here. We're going to focus on the women, and we believe that welcoming the Hunjuk culture motivates women to live the life they want. So we all know that women are set with the choice and the burden of getting married, of raising kids, of being a homemaker. And once we welcoming the Hunjuk culture, we let them can be alone. Then we offer them with an alternative path, and we let them to recognize that they can leave that burden to choose to make their own lifestyle choice, so that they can live to their fullest. No thanks. So by doing that, we can eliminate the burden of women so that they can improve their own ability. And the statistics have shown that 38% women residing individually has professional job. And second, we create a chance to mitigate the prejudice in the society. So, yes, please.
You said that people will have a sense of independence and self-development when they are alone, but you can still have that when you are not a Hunjaker. Like you have support from others, so it will be easier to develop.
Okay, we get that, and we're gonna answer it with the next argument. Let me finish the women one first, and then we can mitigate the prejudice in the society, and the women can have the choice they want, and so that we can promote what is the uniqueness of us here, the gender equality. And second, we will focus, no thanks. Second, we will focus on the Hunjuker and answer your question. Well, we believe welcoming the Hunjuk culture leads to more empowered society where individuals are given equal opportunity to be more productive no matter what lifestyle choice they made. So, okay, we have to focus that they are Hunjuker. They have the demand to live alone. They have the demand to be alone. And just being alone, that they will develop to their best. Because being alone, that they can develop better mental health and stability when they do not see the need and they are not pressured to conform to societal standards, and they minimize the opportunity to stay productive, and then they are not pressured to work with their peers or satisfy others so that they can give the best performance. Proud to propose.
Okay, let's move some rebuttals against your arguments.
First, the first speaker, you say that we not help welcome the Honjuk culture, but you have to distinguish the welcome doesn't mean that accept. For example, we accept smoking, but we don't welcome people to smoke. And therefore, it's a soft case, and the welcoming is like you only welcome the good things, and you don't care about the bad things. And we will prove to you that the bad things, the bad impacts of Honjuk culture will be outweigh their benefits. Let's move to some arguments. The first one is will have aging. It will result in aging population. And first, Honjukkers in nature they have disengagement in relationship, and therefore it will lead to a situation that women have say no to engagement, say no to have children, and therefore it will lead to the birth rate decline, and therefore they place a burden on the welfare of government. Now the government do have enough money. Just do the birth rate really a matter in this debate when the world is facing with the worst problem of overpopulation? Okay, so we should focus on the context here. This Honjuk occurred and it stems from South Korea, and you can't deny the fact that the South Korea is suffering from aging population. And now let's continue to my part. The burden on the welfare of government, it means that the government do not have enough money to assist vulnerable stakeholders such as the elder, homeless people, and unemployed people, and who contribute to the welfare of the government, the young. And it will create a new layer of stress on the young, and like you will become a part of Honjuk culture to get away from stress. But when you become a part, you have to cope with the stress again. And now move to the next impact, and it means that the Honjuk people will be disengaged in their society. Honjukkers are always focused on themselves, and they disavow their relationship. Therefore, they will may lose connection with the world. Research shows that Honjukkers are often addicted to virtual world, such as online games, and they are not aware of what actually happened in the real world. And even they are aware of that, they see that on Facebook. But like some social problems, they don't care about it and they won't take action. So why is it important? In our context today, we humans are facing up numerous challenges such as global warming, such issues that only be tackled by action, by union and engagement from all people. And Honjukkers do not care about that. They just enjoy their own happiness, and they don't care how global warming, how such issue will have negative impacts on the whole societies. And therefore, we believe that we shouldn't welcome the Honjuk culture. Thank you.
You guys, I really enjoyed the second round. The first round, great. The second round, also great. Lots of energy, because I can see your happiness radiating through your hands. I like that. And some of the arguments you guys are bringing up, it's quite valid. But it's the judges. And judges, I love to hear some feedback. So, Hugh, let's hear it.
With the proposition team, I like the fact that you try to make an attempt to differentiate between being alone and the feeling of loneliness. I think that's a very good move. I think with the first one, when you talk about women, I think that is a very well-developed argument. However, with the second one, when you create about a more empowered society, I think that is when it gets a little bit shaky for me. So I think the third debate of your team need to really consolidate that argument a little bit for me, because it seems like you just talk about women, and then there's so many stakeholders involved. It's not just the women. With the opposition team, I like the fact that you try to make an attempt with the welcome and accept, and spot on, but I think it needs a little bit pushing so that it stand out more about what does accept lead to and what does welcome lead to, for example, to make it a better rebuttal. And I do like the fact that you directly attack the argument of women. And with the decrease in birth rate, I like your POI as well. And I also like how you respond to the POI. I think it's a very good POI. It's also a very good response to POI, because we talk about, yes, overpopulation is a world one, but this is a country context specific, and this country currently has aging population problem. So I think it's a good response to POI. I really want to give my 10 point to this team, but also 10 point to this team as well.
Yeah, you got to pick one.
I do like one idea, and I do like the other idea as well. I think as of now, one team come in with a stronger positioning so far. So I'm sorry, I like your rebuttals, but I have to give my 10 points to the proposition team.
Okay. But usually when Hugh is talking, he's not that friendly with both teams, so take that as a huge compliment, okay? That's a massive compliment for you guys. Stuart.
It was interesting to see the interactions in this round. Again, to differentiate between the notion of alone and loneliness, that was really, really strong from the proposition side. Again, I heard the notion of kind of productivity dropped in there. I personally would like a little bit more of an explanation of why productivity is particularly good for society, or what productivity kind of looks like. What are we producing more of? For your POI, I think it was a good attempt, but yeah, I saw, yes, we've got overpopulation in the world, but I think the opposition side handled it quite well, saying that actually it's more of a localized issue, and that's the issue that you're kind of looking at, or using that as an example. For the opposition side, again, welcome the fact that you tried to put your rebuttal in there, but I think it for me felt a little bit vague, and I kind of struggled to follow the complete rebuttal. I think it's good that you went to talk about the virtual world, and that the people in this culture may not care about more pressing issues, but I think it was a little bit of a push to try and say that they don't care about environmental issues because their issues are within themselves and they're more isolated. So looking at both sides, I think it was a really good round, and I'm excited for the following rounds, especially with the high levels of interaction. I'm going to have to give it to the... Oh, this is difficult. Okay. I'm actually going to give it to the opposition side, just because I think your usage or your reaction to the POI was really good, and that's something I want to see more of in the following round.
Okay. So congrats, 10 points here. And last but not least, Uwe, please, let's hear your thoughts.
Unlike my fellow judges, I appreciate your effort, but I do not think that the answer for the POI was particularly spot on. I think it lacks a lot of analysis, like by saying that, no, this is not the problem when talking in here, we're talking about a particular country. I think it's more for me running away from the main POI rather than, directly faced with it, and I prefer direct confrontation more. But I understand that maybe because your lack of time and that is not the main focus of your speech as well, but basically I'm not going to give points for that. The reason why I think that your speech was particularly good for me was the idea that you try to brought up, you try to develop it, and I see that it's a very, very nice idea, but I'm just wishing that you could develop it a little bit more carefully, because as my fellow judges also explained, it lacks analysis in it. So it's a little bit jumping idea for me, from women going to have less babies, to the aging population problem, to the decrease of welfare amount of money. And now for the proposition side, I think that the proposition side did a tiny bit, better in terms of explanation. But again, why are these things matter in this particular debate, and why are these things the right, the right benefit that we have to pay for the cost of welcoming this particular culture in? I think the significance level is still not yet reached in this particular debate. And this is the main reason why I give my 10 points to one particular team, is that for the prop side, I think the prop side did quite fair, valid explanation and rebuttals, whereas for the op side, I think that there's a lot of rebuttals that you have to meet in there, but it was actually dropped. So for that particular reason, my 10 points will still go to the proposition side.
Okay. So girls, thank you so much. Please return back to your seats. So currently right now, the proposition team, Team Choco Chips, has 40 points. The opposition team, Team MGT, they have 20 points. We just finished the second round, but a 20-point difference is still not that significant. We need to find out more in the third round. However, we need to take a short break.
Once we welcoming the Honjo culture, we let them can be alone. then we offer them with an alternative path.
Research shows that Hongjokers are often addicted to virtual world and they are not aware of what actually happened in the real world.
So, looking at both sides, I think it was a really good round, and I'm excited for the following rounds, especially with the high levels of interaction.
Welcome back to the third round of the Debaters Season 2. Currently, we have 40 points for the proposition team, 20 points for the opposition team. And now, we need to invite our new contestants. So please, welcome Lei and Kan. And from the opposition team, MGT, please welcome Pham Nguyen Quynh Giang. Okay, I'm gonna start over here. Giang.
Yeah.
Hi. So
Hi.
why was your teammate saying that you are kind of like the star of the group and you're going to take it away right now with all 30 points?
Actually, we're just newbies.
Okay.
And I think that she said so to like reassure me so that I don't have so much pressure, but
No, it's more pressure.
yeah, but it's
not
more
less,
pressure.
it's more. It's a lot more.
But I believe that I will try my best. Like, even if we are losing or winning, we will still understand that we have done our best and there's nothing to regret after all.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much all you can wish for. And so, all right, for the third round, it's similar to the second round. You have 4 minutes to deliver your speech. POI is entirely open. Do you guys understand?
Yes.
Good. Proposition team. Han, you're going to be a gentleman. You will be going first. So let the debate begin.
Madam Chairs, for those people who are lonely and who don't want to be sociable in society, those people who are the ones who want to take part in the Hongzhong culture. And that means that not everyone had incentive to take part in the Hongzhong culture. As the opposition side have pointed out, society created rhetoric that those who eat alone and those who live independently are a sad and a lonely lifestyle. Those are the negativity that the society has stereotyped those kind of people. And this is morally abhorrent because this doesn't account for the diverse experience in this society. And this debate has to be arbitrate based on what is fundamentally better from society, right? Therefore, the team that is, well, what will win this debate is able to prove that by welcoming the culture, the landscape of the society is going to be significantly better. This is winning team today. Okay, 2 main points from the opposition side. First of all, they point out about the loneliness of this kind of culture. I think this is super wrong, right? Because our second speaker, she has already pointed out that for those people who are take part in the Hongzhong culture, because they cannot sociable in the society, they find it really hard to connect, to interact with other people. And they found out that their own characteristics is not suitable to their own society. Therefore, the loneliness only exists if they're trying to be sociable. Unlike if they welcome the Hongzhou culture, right? It means that we respect their kind of lifestyle, which means they can feel be themselves in their own way when they are feeling alone. So I think that the loneliness here does not coming to the proposition side. It's only happen in the opposition side. So second of all, they point out about the birth rate, right? But I think it's not mutually exclusive because why? First of all, birth rate only exists if those kind of people, they have economic problems. It's not from the Hongzhou culture, right? Like for example, some families, they don't have enough finance to take care of their own children. Therefore, they won't give birth for their own children in the future because they cannot take care of them. Therefore, if they try to persuade those kind of family, they give birth to another children, right? To give birth, right? It will pressurize the government to the government have to like take care of this financial stuff towards this kind of family who do not have enough financial aid to take care of themselves. Okay, moving on to the main question in this debate, which is the productivity. Okay, opposition side here, they stated that the productivity only existed in their world. But I believe that I cannot see enough mechanism to prove that why this mechanism is uniqueness and is likely to happen in the world. They have the burden to prove that this system, those extroverts, they will likely to be like assimilate with the introverts. Therefore, they will be likely to like be harmonious and live together. And I think this is mutually exclusive, because in our world we can solve this problem as well. Because when the people they work in their own, they live in their own lifestyle, right? They can perform their best because they feel comfortable and convenient, because they not be sociable, they are not being pressurized and forcing to live with other people. Therefore, I believe that this idea is uniqueness in the proposition side. I'm happy to propose.
I am alone, yet I am not lonely. That is the greatest lie in the society, especially in the society of Honyoker. Our side have successfully proved that in the long run, Honyok culture would lead to loneliness. But you guys have never rebutted to this argument of ours. What you have said is about the demand, the idea, and the thought. But the likelihood doesn't depends on these things, and these are not relevant. Next, your sides have points out that we should welcome this culture because the Honyoker have the right to enjoy, and that right doesn't harm anything. But I think that we successfully proved that there are harm of the Honyok culture to the society and even to the individual, as loneliness can occur after a long time of following the Honyok culture. As to clarify my second speaker's idea, welcome here is to firstly accept the culture and then allow it to rise and to allow its impacts to the society. And accept here is just allow it to happen. And welcoming them means that you welcome all the impacts of them, the good one and the harm. But your first and second speaker all said that you only accept and welcome this culture if it does no harm, and that is a soft case. Turn to the clash. I have a different clash compared to you. Our clash here is the personal happiness. You all said that the Honyoker have the right to enjoy themselves. But what if that happiness is just illusory? Is that the surface of an iceberg? No thanks. And they hide the fact that inside there's loneliness hiding, and that loneliness cause a lot of harm from physical to mental, as our statistic of the previous speakers have said. Why in our world, we don't welcome the Honyok culture because we believe that the solutions, the open solutions that have the approach, direct effects to the situation, to the stress, will promote the development and then promote the productive of them. Because people living in this world cannot learn just to run away, but they have to learn how to deal with the problems. They have to learn how to deal with the hardships, and they have to learn how should they. Yes?
I think this idea is mutually exclusive because in our world, they can solve the problem. But the difference is they solve it by themselves because you guys are forcing them and pressurize them to live in the world they don't like and not suitable of. What do you think about this?
Well, worlds are not there to change for people. People are there to change for the world. You cannot say that you detach yourself from the world as a solution. That is just a running away thing. What you should do is face others around you and do what to solve the problems. Communication, not running away. I am more than proud to oppose to the motion.
All right. The third round has come to an end. Jang, are you happy with how you did?
Actually, I'm not very happy with how I did because the pressure they put on me actually make me choke sometimes, but I believe this is the best that I can try.
Yes, because you know when I talk to you privately or just alone, it's not an issue for you. And then when the debate started, I can see a little bit, but still you were able to get your points across. And from what I see and what the judges see, sometimes it's a bit different, but you did a great job, a really, really good job. And Khan, being the only man here, It's going to be dependent on the judges, what they think of your performance. But I loved your energy. Thank you for the energy. So judges, Wei, you are ready.
Well, I think in the last speech, both of you guys kind of like play it safe. So you try to, like re-explain, repeat the arguments of your teams and repeat the problems from the opponent team without really try to, like develop your idea, create more extensions for your ideas. I should think that it would have been better if you try to step out of the comfort zone a little bit and try to do more explanation. I appreciate Han's rebuttals when you talk about the birth rate. I think that was the only, like cut out different part in your speech. However, I think like you are just like bringing another issue in order to counter with her problem, not exactly like refuting her arguments. I don't think, I'm not saying that that is a bad way. I'm just saying that that is not very persuasive way to do it. For Jang, I think definitely try to be calmer next time and trying to deliver, like a speech where you prepare the structure a little bit better. In this particular turn, since both teams didn't provide me with a lot of, like materials, new materials in order to work with, I would say that my 10 points will go to a team that can a little bit better show me, like your stance in this particular debate is about like why you want to welcome it. And the team that have done that a little bit better for me is by far still the proposition side.
Okay. So thank you, Wei. Stuart.
Proposition side, I did really like your reframing of the notion of loneliness. You're only lonely in a society which requires sociability, and I think that was really important. I thought that was a very, very strong point. Again, I think you struggle to kind of clear up and tie together the previous points, and there was a lot of kind of like you were repeating, recycling the main ideas, but I was really looking for that development from your team and showing me kind of more stronger examples to really make them strong. For the opposition team, I think the claim that you've proved that loneliness is a real issue and that this is something that's kind of integral to the Honjok culture, I still at this point didn't feel convinced that loneliness is a real issue. So I would have liked to kind of see a bit more development of that. The POI, which was put forward by the proposition team in terms of, if you've got issues in society, then you should kind of approach them with people as opposed to, you're not just running by them or running away from them. I thought that was quite good because there's this notion of if you're in a Honjok culture, this kind of assumption that you're running away from something, and I haven't really at this point received enough kind of evidence to support the notion that people in a Honjok culture are running away from something rather than choosing to live that life. For that reason, my points for this round go for the proposition.
Thank you, Stuart. Hill?
With the proposition team, there's two so great ideas that I wish you could just push it further. Number one is really reframing the society narratives about like eating alone, living alone doesn't mean they are sad. I think that's just a so strong argument. I want you to push further, right? And the second one is about there's still loneliness in people who look like they are sociable. I think that is also another great idea that I want more push. I think with the pushing of those two ideas is a very easy win on your team. However, I'm a little bit reserved at the end because I feel like sometimes, maybe I'm wrong in this one, but a few debaters throw in a lot of terminologies debating like burden of proof, uniqueness, mechanism, but without like very strong explanation. I feel like you're just piggybacking on those terminologies. It sounds posh, but I'm not sure your case and your arguments is strong enough to carry those terminologies. Now, with the opposition team, what I found is you have like good ideas, but choppy. I think because of your nerve as well. And the three great ideas I note down here is number one is happiness is just an illusion. I think that is a very strong idea, but similar problem, not pushing enough. The second idea is about we need communication to resolve the problem, not running away and detaching ourselves from the world. Great idea, no push. And I think the other one that really make me think is you kind of address the proposition team at the weakest point, because your entire case rests on the assumption that you welcome it as long as it doesn't cause no harm to the individual and to the society. So, because that your whole case rests on that assumption. So they point out exactly that that case may fail, because we actually, even if they point out one harm or two harms to the individual and to the society, then your case failed. I think with that, really pointing at the core argument here, it's not I have the incentive to balance the game, because I think the opposition team really deserve a 10 point in this round. So my 10 point go to the opposition team.
Okay. Thank you, judges. So currently, right now, you guys have 60 points. And I can see some relief on your faces back there, because I know we still have the final reply speech, which we have 15 points to give. There is already a large point difference. However, the final reply speech, despite the point difference right now, this is kind of like the conclusion of the debate tonight. So having a really good final reply speech is really important despite the point difference. So you guys, thank you so much. Please return to your seats. Currently right now, the proposition team, Choco Chips, has 60 points. The opposition team has 30 points. We just finished the third round, but we do have the final reply speech, which is really important for the conclusion of the debaters. However, we need to take a short break, and we'll see you after that.
Society created rhetoric that those who eat alone and those who live independently are a sad and a lonely lifestyle. Those are the negativity that the society has stereotyped those kind of people.
You cannot say that you detach yourself from the world as a solution. That is just a running away thing.
I think with the pushing of those two ideas is a very easy win on your team.
So welcome back to the Debaters Season 2. We need to conclude the debaters tonight with the final reply speech. Without further ado, please let me welcome the contestants for that. From Choco Chips, please welcome Nguyen, Du, Jang. From Team MGT, please welcome Nguyen, Vũ, Ha, Mi. Okay, final reply speech. Start over here. Mi Oi. Hi.
Yes.
You excited?
Yes. Our mentors tell us that the important thing that how we lose and how we win. So I think we'll have tried our best today.
Yeah, because right now I know with the point difference, I feel like it's also kind of a relief, so you can relax a little bit when you give this speech. So that's keep that in mind, because we're still really excited to hear what you have to say. And Jang Oi.
Yes.
So I know technically you guys have the most points right now, but the audience at home, the judges, everyone has very high expectations for you guys in particular, because you have 60 points already.
Yes, I feel the pressure too.
Okay, good. I want you to feel all the pressure. So with the reply speech, you guys, there is no POI. This is 2 minutes. You both have 2 minutes to deliver your speech. Usually the proposition team, you go first, but no. The opposition team, you will be going first. Do you guys understand the rules?
Yes.
Perfect. So thank you, and let the debate begin.
After all, what do we have? In your side, you say that we should welcome Honjok culture because it brings no harmful impacts. But we prove that Honjok not will let people in like an endless cycle of stress. And even if we compare the benefits and the drawbacks of Honjok, I can say that in your word, the Honjokers just run away from stress. And when they face up to social issues, they just ignore them and run away like the way they escape from stress. And in our word, we help people to foster their ability to cope with problems. And we can also tackle some issues which need union and engagement from everybody. So I think that the argument of opposition team is really clear that we have pointed out the impact on individually the Honduras and on society. Thanks.
In this debate, we believe that we have three clashes to compare. First, in terms of individuals, for those who have the demand to be alone, to choose the Honduran culture. On this side of the house, we do take care of them. We do let them choose what they want and we respect them. At least we do that. And on your side of the house, you do nothing. You just prevent them to choose what is suitable for them. So in the end of the day, we are the one who can bring them true happiness. To the second clash, so we now talk about the productivity. On our side of the house, we claim that we are the one who can bring them the true productivity. But on your side of the house, you believe that if you just welcome the Honduran culture, then the future of those people will be worse and they will focus on the virtual things alone. However, that idea of you are so shaky that you do not prove that. Among those really wide range of options, they will choose the bad games. You do not prove that for it. But on our side of the house, what we do is we prove that once those individuals are fulfilled with their demands, they will be better and they will work better. For the last clash, talk about the issues that two sides have tackled. Firstly, talk about the birth rates. The decreased birth rates issues of the opposition has been fully rebutted by us. However, in terms of the gender equality, it stands to the last. So proud to propose.
Well, we're done.
Yes.
That's it. We're done.
Yeah. Such a relief.
Yes, we are done. I know you're feeling relieved, you're feeling happy. The final reply speech is over. So the judges, each of them has 5 points individually. So we have a total of 15 points left. For right now, girls, please return back to your seats. And we will find out who is the winner of tonight right after the break. So welcome back to the final result. Okay, currently proposition team, Choco Chips,
yes.
Okay, have 60 points. Team MGT, they have 30 points. I know there's already a point difference right now, and the winner of tonight's show is already obvious. We'll leave it at that. But the final reply speech, there are 15 points left. And those 15 points, they are going to the final verdict of tonight's show. The team with a total of 75 points goes to Team Choco Chips. MGT, you guys finished off with 30 points. So first off, I want to say thank you so much. Tonight's debate went really well. I know it's very difficult to come on stage with lots of lights, tons of camera, the audience, which is just absolutely massive, knowing you're going to be on national TV. So I want to say thank you so much, and I admire all of you for coming up here and doing it. So at home, I want to give a big shout out to our sponsor, British University Vietnam. Thank you so much for sponsoring The Debaters Season 2. For you guys, thank you so much. And everybody at home, I hope you have a great night, and we'll see you again with another episode of The Debaters. So take care.